Hello, creeps. It's your old pal John Kassir, the voice of the Crypt Keeper, and you're watching the Death Curse Society.
Rock and roll!
6 o'clock already, it was just in the middle of a dream. I was kissing Valentino by a crystal blue Italian stream. But I can't be late, cause then I guess I just won't get paid. These are the days when you wish your bed was already made. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, cause that's my fun day. My I don't have to Monday. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, cause that's my fun day. It's just another manic Monday.
Go again, folks. Welcome to another Monday Maniacs from Death Curse Society. Oh, yeah. I'm Redcranke. I got Zigzag. I got the Colonel, and I got FaZe. What up, guys?
Yeah.
What's up, gentlemen? I'm trying not to cuss for the first 10
I was
minutes.
waiting for it, man.
I'm still a little jet lagged from the trip, but I didn't even fly. And it wasn't even that long of a trip. It was just like, I don't know. This one, it's through Kansas though, so you know how they talk about flyover states. Jesus Christ, there's so much no population in Kansas like that you drive through. It's amazing.
It's nothing.
Anyway.
It's barren.
Yeah. It's nuts. Anyway,
It was a family video.
We had to drive through like 2 cornfields and down a dirty trail to get to that restaurant in Kansas that time. So
that was in Missouri,
but I mean,
Yeah.
same thing.
close by.
Basically.
It's the same thing.
Dude, I debated going over to get some of that, but I had to. They weren't open on Sunday when I was thinking about going. They closed at 4, and I would have had to have left there at like 2:30 to make sure I could have gotten something, you know. And I still would have been that asshole that showed up like 20 minutes left and been like, "Give me the 3 meat special."
I'll take the platter.
Can't do that, man. That's how you get someone spits in your food. That's how
Yeah.
you find a pube in your gravy.
Couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, man. So sorry. I wanted to go to the Tin Kitchen. Couldn't make it. But we'll talk about my trip to Kansas after the review and everything, and we'll do you guys' thing at the end too. Let's not do that here at the top.
Yeah, don't even worry about it, man.
Let's do it at the end. I'm already in that sketchy mood right now, so let's not just bring
all
it down.
That's all good.
Bring me down at the end. So
I didn't think Colonel would want to protest the delay of this, but that's okay.
I was gonna say 1 in 11 in 6 years. It's par for the course, man.
all right.
That's it.
Hold it.
I can wait.
We may have new viewers here, and I don't want to lose them to the goddamn sports talk. So, hey guys, thanks for tuning in, jumping in there in the comments. Let's see who we got. Yeah, we got Lorena, we got Tarek, we've got of course. Yeah, we got to talk about this a little bit. Rest in peace, James Earl Jones, just like 2 hours ago. Well, that we heard anyway.
That was crazy. That was not on my bingo card for today.
No. Bill's here. Paul is here. Joshua's here. What's up, Joshua? S. Michael. Hello. Welcome back, sir. S.
Whoa.
Michael.
It's
Hope
been a
you're
minute.
doing well, man. Yes, S&M. I forgot. That was our old nickname for him. Lorena reminded me. What's up, Tommy? Tommy Clicks in the house.
Tommy, click.
Frost Gang. What's going on, man? Long time no see. Welcome back, man.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Can't swear welcome.
You guys are being tame in the comments. I know there's more of you out there, but you guys are being tame in the comments. That's okay. That's okay.
Until the end there.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we get into our review of Beetlejuice, we got to thank our final girls and guys and all of our members, of course. But first, our final girls and guys. Christy, C-Phase, Lorena, BD, Alex, and Robert. Our Crazy Ralph's Bell's Fancy Creations, Dr. Smiley, Raymond, and the whole damn enchilada pod. And, of course, our camp counselors, Adam, Corey, Christy, Luke, Jimmy and Rachel, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Chuck Schick, Patricia, Kristen, and JJ.
Chuck Schick.
That's right.
Chuck Schick.
I like his name.
Yep. And thanks for supporting the DCS. If you want to become a member and support the DCS, head on over to deathcursesociety.com. It's a lot like Patreon. Sign up for a tier, pay a few bucks a month, or you can pay for a whole year and you get like a month or maybe two off. Boom. And it helps us a long way with flights and hotels and wherever the hell we need to go.
And it's still too early, so I can't say what I want to say.
Not yet.
I've been grounded.
Not yet. Got about another 30 seconds to go. And of course, thanks to our associate producer, C-Phase in the house. Did you get to see the movie tonight or this weekend?
Not tonight, but yeah, I saw it on Saturday with my mom, who has already expressed her whatever the opposite of love is.
Oh, no.
Distaste.
Yes.
Disdain.
There we go. She says, Lorena, I came here to drink Slim Fast and bitch about Beetlejuice.
And
I'm almost out of Slim Fast.
Yep.
Oh, boy. Well, you may or may not have come to the right place.
Yep.
We'll see.
Well, let's see. Let's see.
Curious to see what you guys think.
Yeah. Let's get into it. First off, anticipation and marketing, as usual. This is kind of where we start our reviews. Talk about how much we were anticipating this movie and how much the marketing worked or didn't work. I'll start with who's this? This one's Beetlejuice is a Colonel generation movie, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, because I did grow up the cartoon as well and the toys and everything. So
let's start with Colonel.
Let's just say the marketing wasn't as great now as it was back in the late 80s, early 90s when I was watching the cartoon and getting all the toys from Kenner, Cincinnati, Ohio toy company. Rest in peace as far as toy companies go. They had all the best ones. Let's start with anticipation. I was kind of looking forward to this, but I'm always skeptical of a sequel that takes place 30 plus years after the original. We all know Hollywood loves to do this right now. They rarely meet the expectations rarely meet the anticipation. And the marketing, good Lord, they marketed I can say it now. They marketed the fuck out of this movie.
There you go.
I mean, come on, they even had fucking green apple Fanta. Like, this place, Beetlejuice was all over the fucking place leading up to the release of this film. So I'd like to see how much that marketing budget was. Because probably Fanta sales probably went up 6.66%. See what I did there? No.
Dude, they had a tie-in with Denny's, I noticed, on
Hertz car rental or some shit, too. Like, it's just...
Yeah, I saw that, too. It's so weird, man.
Dildos and pocket pussies, but give that a couple more months.
Man, he waited for that 10-minute mark and is just going nuts already.
Yeah, man, it's hard to hold that shit in.
Damn, man.
Fuck. Just, yeah.
I'm like Cartman in the South Park movie. Go ahead and say it, okay? Fuck you.
There you go.
Shit taco.
Ziggy, what about you? What were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I was there when the first one came out and during the height of Tim Burton or the start of the height of Tim Burton. Yeah, you know, it has it's that gothic, fun, just weird but it was just so cool, man. Every element worked in that original one. So yeah, coming up to this one, you're thinking, wow, do they really want to do this? And how many times was this on again, off again, on again, off again, on again? Keaton's in, Keaton's out. They're not going to do it. This guy's in. Winona Ryder's out. She's back in.
Oh, this has been in the works since like 1990.
Fuck.
Yeah.
They've been trying to get this out for years and years and years and years and years. And finally, they settle on a script. I don't know. It doesn't need. I don't think it needed the marketing campaign, particularly for this one. I mean, everybody knows who Beetlejuice is. I mean, even old people, young people, the cartoons. Colonel's generation phase. You're aware of Beetlejuice as well at this point. Yeah. So, I don't know if they needed to go over the top like this and make a soda pop and have a Denny's breakfast named after fucking Beetlejuice. You know what I mean? But I digress.
Beetlejuice pancakes.
Yeah, green with spaghetti in it for the worms. But
I'm not reaching my generation with either of those things. Sorry, go.
Do what?
Just saying, you're not.
Yeah, Faze can go first. We'll do age before beauty. He's younger.
Fair enough. Say you're not reaching my generation with either Fanta or Denny's. So I mean, you'll reach me with Denny's, I guess.
Well, man, in a way. Colonel?
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying I like the idea of spaghetti for worms. I was thinking like gummy worms because it's fucking Denny's. I've never eaten at Denny's though, so shame on me for assuming they would do some shit like that.
I don't know. I don't know if they're putting spaghetti in their pancakes. I just kind of pulled that out of my ass. So I mean,
I don't know.
They probably are.
The only reason I know they had a Denny's campaign is because I'm listening to Spotify on the entire drive back to Topeka and back. So every fourth song, here comes the same three commercials that you got to hear: Lowe's, Denny's, and something called Hey Dude Shoes. So I don't know. Fuck.
Supposedly those are real fucking comfortable, man. I don't know. I wouldn't buy them.
They're so comfortable. You'll put them on and say, "Dude." That's the tagline at the end of the commercial, and I fucking hate it.
Or if you're like us, you'll put them on and say,
"We are supposed to prepare."
No.
Yes,
that's good.
I love Paula's voice in the background. We're supposed to prepare.
Prepare.
That's genuine. She's trying to get him stoked for Nightmare on Elm Street, the remake, and Grizzly wasn't having it, man. I mean, I respect.
None of us were having it. That's
no
the
end.
Oh, good Lord. Faze, what about you? How anticipation and marketing?
I was never crazy about the original Beetlejuice or the cartoon. I mean, it's all right. It's all right. I had much better Tim Burton content already by the time I watched Beetlejuice maybe when I was like 13, 14. And by that time I had, Nightmare Before Christmas, Coraline, fucking Corpse Bride, just everything that's just so much better than Beetlejuice.
13's the perfect time to see Beetlejuice, though. Certainly. He's rude, he's crude.
I certainly enjoyed it. But, it's just, it's not exactly my cup of tea, I guess. I enjoyed the soundtrack, but it didn't make me super excited for this film, especially with all these damn legacy sequels being so damn shitty.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But, yeah, the marketing, you guys pretty much already ran into it pretty hard. I didn't even notice this Fanta shit or any of these Denny's. I didn't notice any of it.
Yeah.
This stuff goes over my head often, so I don't know. It didn't catch me, but I watched this because we're reviewing it. That's all.
The marketing, I will say, was way over the top. I mean, every time, and I don't watch that many commercials when I watch TV. I normally fast forward through it if I can.
Sure.
But I would see a Beetlejuice commercial that like 2 out of every 5 commercials, or breaks at least.
Oh, fuck. Progressive had one. I mean, he's all over the place right now.
Oh, yeah. No. And all the promotional ties overboard, way overboard. You could have spent a third of the budget on this marketing and probably financed another 2 or 3 lower budget movies. I don't know.
Starring Johnny Depp and his wife. Sorry.
maybe not more Tim Burton movies, but it was overdone. Now, the trailers were okay. The trailers gave you just enough hope that this was going to be Beetlejuice was coming back. And then all the interviews they did, of course, there's been talk for decades about Winona Ryder's not coming back unless Michael Keaton and Tim Burton are involved. Okay, we got Tim Burton's not coming back unless the script is solid. Okay, we got them back. Michael Keaton's not coming back unless he can be the same crude and rude Beetlejuice that he was in 1988. Boom, boom, boom. They've been saying this for years. They said it recently again. So I was ready. And I am a Beetlejuice fan. I love this movie. I love the 88 movie. So I was kind of looking forward to this. Now, I had tempered expectations because, like these guys have said as well, legacy sequels tend to drop the ball somewhere. And I think we're going to find out where the ball was dropped, and not a DCS sports reference, just a movie reference. So let's get into first impressions. Ziggy, walking out of the theater, what'd you think?
I thought it was nice visiting with old friends again like that. But I thought the writers completely fumbled the ball here telling this story.
Okay.
That was my first and strongest thought. 100%. But I didn't feel like, I wasn't upset. I wasn't mad like The Crow. I wasn't mad like Night Swim. I wasn't mad, that kind of mad. Just kind of like, meh, about what I expected, really. I think they did the bare minimum with it, with what they were expected to do, and the final result. Just, if you haven't seen it, I mean, the story just, there's a character there that doesn't need to be there.
I wonder who he's talking about. By the way, we will at some point get into spoilers. When we do,
Yes.
We'll have the handy dandy spoiler alert sign coming
Could
up.
be late.
We're not getting there yet,
No
but
way.
we will get there. Because there's a couple of things that I don't even think when we get to these parts in the film, we can't just overlook it and then come back to it. We gotta talk about this one and see. So we will spoil some parts of this at some point. So I'll tell you what, my first impressions walking out of the theater, I had driven 4.5 hours to get to a theater in my home state because I wanted to see it in IMAX. And I had kind of tried to time it where I could meet up with the Ogletrees over in Tulsa. They couldn't meet up with me, which is fine. And we were going to go eat. But I ended up going to this new, like, all-you-can-eat sushi place in Tulsa called Mizu. If you're in the area, go check it out. Great for a date night, by the way. That's all I'll say. And had a shit ton of sushi. Tried some stuff I'd never tried before. I was in a good mood. Went to the theater, watched the movie. I came out feeling pretty good. Drove home feeling pretty good. Then some shit happened that put me in that mood. But that's a whole different story. But walking out of the movie theater, I was kind of smiley. I had the, not Dr. Smiley, but kind of smiley. I had a little bit of that nostalgia. I was reflecting on a couple of the scenes that I had seen that I really liked, that we'll talk about in a little bit. The two of them that I can mention, like, were musical scenes, and those were two that got me really good. I actually, what I'm talking about. Don't give me that. Don't give me that burnt toast look. Popeye. All right. But there were a few things that I really didn't like. And like Ziggy said, there's a character that almost doesn't need to be there at all. You could write him off entirely, and I don't think he'd miss a beat. You'd probably trim about 6 minutes off the movie if you did, which wouldn't hurt. But
That's not even what I meant, but
oh, really?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you're right, though.
I mean, I think you could write that guy off.
Totally. I just went like, God damn, he's right.
My thoughts, though, walking out were, after I thought about it a little bit, like, this was a really, like on the drive, this was a really safe Tim Burton movie. There were no risk taken, hardly at all. Maybe one. But he's a visionary filmmaker. Now, granted, movie looked beautiful, direction was great, acting was fine. Like Ziggy said, the script was lackluster. I don't want to say it was a lazy script, but it was a safe script. It was just very by the numbers. Is that what you would say, Ziggy?
Yeah, but I mean, it just kind of the pacing of it was real shitty.
So I didn't mind the pacing
towards the end, and
I'll wait.
Yeah,
I didn't really mind the pacing, but
it just we can get through this. It's like that's the end of the movie. We're at the beginning still.
Right. Well, and I'll say. Never mind. I'll save that for later. But Colonel, first impressions walking out of the theater.
I was like, man, I got 10 minutes to kill before I have to get the Strange Darling on the next side of the other side of the theater.
Oh.
But my thoughts about Beetlejuice, I'm kind of a zag. I was not impressed with the script. It was very safe.
Mm-hmm.
I agree that the pacing was off, but for me, it was in the first half of the movie. I wasn't too thrilled with the pacing. It had some feels to Beetlejuice, but I hate to say it. It also felt a little bit like Rob Zombie's The Munsters at parts for me. I was
Well, and we can get into more of this, but Beetlejuice was watered down.
Very watered down.
Like the ice in that Fanta had melted completely.
Yeah, it felt like your grandpa saying, back in my day, because that's
Right.
almost what it was. This is a spoiler alert that we don't even need a flash on the screen. Not one crotch grab from Beetlejuice that I'm aware of. I may have missed it, but
No.
yeah, but I didn't even get it. No honk,
Nope.
honk, nothing. I'm like, come on, man, I was a little kid doing that shit. Dunk, dunk. Like, I didn't know. I thought it was just funny.
I used
Nice
to just
fucking model.
Yeah, I used to just randomly blurt out, "Nice fucking model," and grab myself after the movie,
Yeah, it like I said, that was the most first impression. I didn't really quite know how I felt about it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Beetlejuice. You think after all these years, it would be a little more. He'd be pent up
Right.
and ready.
Right. And the target that he had 36 years ago is back and still looks good at 50 something. So let's hit it. No.
Dude, don't. Yeah, the fucking bunch of eye rolls too. We'll get to that. A bunch of fucking eye rolls for me. You guys already know what I'm talking about. We'll get to it.
I think so. Faze, any first impressions to add?
I don't know. My mom and I just kind of looked at each other. It was like, ugh, let's get out of here. Like, we weren't thrilled. She definitely hated it more than I did. There were aspects of it that I certainly liked, but there were some moments that really pulled me out of it. And we'll get to that when we get there.
No.
That's about all I could say without spoiling too much.
I love the fact that now that you've become a producer and your assignments are to go and see movies a lot now, that you and your mom are going to see movies together again. That's cool. I like that.
It's cool. It's wholesome.
It gets me right here and a little bit down there too. But that's a different story. But, no,
Weird.
I mean my stomach. No.
Oh, okay.
Guys,
Okay.
dude, come on.
It's still kind of weird, but
You guys are
okay.
fucking weird. What drop are you looking for? Oh, I thought you were scrolling.
I'll be ready
man.
for you.
All right. Let's move on to Act 1. Meet the Deets. All the family's back. Well, not all the family, but
Yeah.
well, I do want to talk about that too. All right. Lydia Deets. Lydia Deets is back, Winona Ryder's character, as the host of a supernatural talk show called Ghost House, produced by her boyfriend Rory. played by Justin Theroux. And during the taping of a segment, Lydia sees visions of Beetlejuice, who haunted her family 36 years earlier, in the audience. Shortly thereafter, Delia, Lydia's stepmother, shares the news. And here we go. Here's the first spoiler, like I was saying, folks. We understand if you have to bounce if you haven't seen the movie, but it's not a big spoiler, because if you didn't know this person's not in the movie, then you're not really paying attention. So anyway, Delia shares the news about the death of her father, Charles, who survives a plane crash in the South Pacific, only to have his head bitten off by a shark minutes later. So they go to Winter River for the funeral service, and the surviving Dietz family members pick up Lydia's estranged daughter, Astrid, played by Jenna Ortega, from boarding school. During the funeral services, a wake is held, or following the funeral, a wake is held at the old Dietz house, and Rory proposes to Lydia in front of the attendees, which she reluctantly accepts, causing Astrid to flee. And we'll talk about what happens to her after she flees when we come back. So, not a terrible setup. We might as well talk about just pushing Jeffrey Jones as Charles off to the side. I fully expected it, especially based on what happened in 2002, 2003. And I think they, in a way, handled it well. But he still gets some money because they used his likeness a couple of times.
That was my bitch about it. I was okay with killing a character off. You have to. Obviously, you have to make a reason why he's not there. I was even okay with the claymation part.
No.
Really, we needed to see his fucking face on his tombstone, which I thought was funny that it was a shark fin. Mm-hmm. But, like, I'm with you. I'm like, so you're still paying this fucker. And then you're making it a case to get him out of the fucking movie.
It's not about him. Yeah.
That was my bitch. I know it's not about him, but it's like you're still paying a fucking pedo, dude. Like, why?
They could have started right at the fucking funeral with that part of him. They didn't need to show any of that any of that.
I think they didn't need to show any part of him. They could have just said, Charles is dead. Bong, switch to the funeral.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that would have saved like 10 minutes.
Because, he's a great piece of the original Beetlejuice, man. That's what
he is.
Sucks.
He is, and he's a great actor. He's been in tons of stuff that we love, but
dude, you can't diddle kids. Man. Like, you cannot diddle kids. You cannot diddle kids. You can't.
Well, and I think part of the reason why Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin weren't invited back. They didn't need them. They wrote them off pretty unceremoniously as well. But one of the reasons they weren't invited back was, he's dealing with that murder case, or was. So,
missed opportunity.
Yeah. Anyway, who wants to talk about the first act? Faze. We'll let Faze start. If you want to.
I was pretty stoned I was super stoned walking into this movie. I had so much so that I got my mom an extreme contact high, but you meet the family members, and that's about all I remember for Act 1 is meeting them. You kind of cut to, like, how far do you want to even go with this again? I never know how far.
We're going to the wake, basically.
Yeah, it's spelled out that her fiance is a douchebag.
Right.
Scumbag.
Rory. Yeah.
I don't really have much comments here, to be honest.
All right. Colonel.
Well, I'm going to backtrack a little bit.
Okay.
I had a little bit of issue with Lydia being a TV show host about the dead, because even as a kid, she was anti, exploiting ghosts to make money.
She says, though, later on, we became friends after I sold out,
Yeah, but still, I was like, it seemed a strange place for Lydia to go.
It does. I agree.
But, we get to the wake. Again, the boyfriend or fiance at that point, one of two useless characters, other than one being Charles. God, I couldn't stand the fucking guy. So I guess he did his job. He did it because I could give two shits and a fuck about him. Again, I just love that, help me with her name, Delia.
Delia.
Thank you. Whatever. I love that she was still eccentric, though, even more so than the original. But it makes sense. Like her art started selling, and she just went off the fucking edge.
Well, we're gonna talk about each one of the main characters here.
Okay. Well, I know. I'm just saying meet the deets. I'm just giving quick thoughts and meeting the deets until we get to the wake.
All right.
And then, I'm kind of phase after that. It's like you explained it perfectly and saying, "Hey, this is what happened."
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't get a chance to see the original again, so I
didn't either, honestly. But I do love the way the original starts.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, Ziggy, what do you have to add on Act 1?
Yeah, her mom is great. She's still, Colonel said it, she's off the fucking cliff of eccentric, and it's cool. She does a good job with it. Lydia, man, she did it, and I thought they were going somewhere with this, and then they did not.
Mm-hmm.
So
there were a couple of things like that.
Yeah, she didn't. She doesn't have that mystic gothicness or whatever, however you want to put it. I know it's 36 years later, but you would think you would just tap that again somehow.
Somehow, yeah.
She didn't. She does not do that here.
All they did was put her in that same weird spike hair down, hair up thing, and then wearing black.
Which doesn't work when you're 36 years older. It just did. It was like seeing Jerry only with the widow's peak. That's only because he's balding back here.
Right. It's cute. It's cute on a 15-year-old. It's not so cute on a 53-year-old.
She looks uncomfortable in the role, and
okay. Let's move on to that then. Winona.
Just saying that's definitely one thing, with her. Yeah, I mean,
well, keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, she looks very confused with it. Like she's not comfortable coming back to this character. It's apparent to me. I don't know, man. Maybe she's lost something over the years with her delivery. I don't know what this is, but I mean, even in her eyes, the way she looks around, it's deliberate. It's overacted.
There are several moments, especially in the third act, where just her eyes and her facial pulled me out of the whole movie. Just like you're not selling what I think you're supposed to be selling right now.
No, and those are the same exact eyes and facial expressions that she made in Stranger Things, which season 1, which sucked me out of Stranger Things. I'll be honest, it was very fucking similar, dude. Eerily similar, the facial expressions she was making. Like, if you think about it or go back, you'll notice that a lot of the looks are the fucking same. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, I can see that.
She's not bad though. I mean, she's not. It's not like she's absolutely fucked it up.
No,
it's just a different Lydia.
It feels phoned in.
Phoned in.
I'll say it. I love Winona Ryder. I've loved her since Reality Bites, Heathers, Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. Edward Scissorhands.
Running through
that too.
You can see through it.
Whoa. Dracula.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I've loved her since the 80s, man. But she phoned it in. I don't know if it was because maybe she thought the script was weak, but the paycheck was good. So I don't know, but she didn't. And somebody mentioned it. I can't remember who. Colonel, I think, said it felt weird that she didn't want to abuse and use the ghost in 1988, but now she's exploiting it for her own fame and television show. Now, part of that, though, I think was egged on by Rory. So
again, and I thought they were going somewhere with it, and we were going to get a giant reveal later on in the old strange and unusual Lydia was going to show up from
That would have been nice.
Huh.
Yeah, it literally in this one you just got a Lydia who's been beaten down by life.
Yes.
Like she did not. She just let everybody walk over her, and I hated that for the character. I really did. It was just not where I wanted her to be 36 years later. You know.
Here's an interesting take on it. Tarek says, "I've always loved Winona Ryder, but I don't think she was comfortable even with the first movie. It's just that discomfort worked in the first movie." I don't know about that. I think she was.
There's confidence in the first one. I mean, I just got done watching this.
Yeah,
she's got a harness on what that character is in the first one.
Well, she was that it girl in the '80s too. So she was the one. If you needed somebody, we'll get to that in a second. Yeah. But Winona was that it weird girl in the '80s. If you wanted somebody that was just a little bit off kilter, that could play that slightly, manic or depressed personality, you got her. But I don't know if it plays as a 50-something-year-old Lydia.
Well, it's not the same. She didn't approach
It's definitely not the same.
Yeah.
I almost wish it would have been the same and something, well, I wish the whole fucking script was different. How about that? So anyway, who hasn't talked about her yet?
I mean, I can't add anything. It was phoned in. That's perfectly said right there.
Right.
There's the fucking eyes. I just noticed. They're right there. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, that was the most acting she did in the whole movie right there, I think. Where's Rick's comment here? And I did hear this, but Rick says, I heard Gina Davis didn't want to come back because she was older and ghosts don't get older. Freaking phones. Oh, okay. So hard to type on all this. Yes. And I've heard that too, that, but I don't think they were ever asked either.
No, probably not.
From what I heard. So that kind of sounds like an excuse for, well, we never got a phone call from Tim Burton, so.
And in the age of computer de-aging, come on, man. Yeah. That's flimsy as fuck.
And the way they were written out was so fucking lazy. It's like that's your explanation.
Yeah. When it comes to the,
I guess we can talk about that.
The stars of the original movie, their appearance in the new one.
You could at least had an Easter egg of their tux in the wedding dress or something to acknowledge them, other than like, well, what happened to them? Oh, well, they found a loophole and they passed.
We got claymation of dude getting his head bit off by a fucking shark. We can't show the fucking Maitlands getting into
you can show a fucking picture of the pedophile.
But show the Maitlands finding that loophole if you've got enough in the claymation budget for Jeffrey Jones. Why not?
It's a really good point.
It's just like, what the fuck? It's one of many what the fucks watching this movie.
Oh yeah. Well, and as we mentioned, I want to go through the returning cast members before we get to the new It Weird Girl. A highlight of the movie for me, besides Michael Keaton, Catherine O'Hara. Catherine O'Hara is so good in everything. I need to watch more of her because I fucking love almost everything that she's in as Delia. And I thought her character's progression, which wasn't much, honestly, just got a little bit weirder.
Yeah.
But was great.
She properly evolved 36 years, this character. Properly.
Yes.
Perfectly. So I agree. There was a couple of her lines where I kind of went like, that didn't fit. But
that's the writing.
Right. Again, I don't blame her for that. But she nailed 85% of it. And the main things that she had to do, she did great.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
She knocked it out of the fucking ballpark, man. I enjoyed her character very much, and one to where, like I said, the character development, what little there was in the movie, they just like here they are now. Watch this fucking movie was perfect. That's again, like I said earlier, Delia was exactly how I expected her to be.
But her character is about the only one that I think was written mostly right.
No, I agree.
I think they lost it on the rest of them.
I think a lot of it was her, though. I mean, yeah, she had the words, but I mean, she put the connection on it in it.
She just so good, man. Where is it? Oh, yeah. Paula says Catherine O'Hara is amazing. Yes. FaZe, anything to add on Catherine? Nice to see her back.
Yeah, I mean, just the parts that had me laughing the most, had me the most engaged would probably be her parts. They were just, they're really enjoyable. She did great.
Yep. Yeah. Fair enough. Get the melted ice out, because now we got to talk about Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice. Funny, an acceptable performance, but no bite to him at all. No pervertedness, which was heavy in the 80s. No politically incorrect bullshit, which they talked about. Oh, I'm not coming back unless you if you PC this movie, I ain't doing it. They made a big deal about that, and then he comes back, and it's pretty. His whole performance is great, but the writing for it is pretty fucking tame. Like Colonel said, no crotch grab.
You needed to have the crotch grab. You make sure to drop in your F-bomb. You're one.
They got one and then bleeped out the other one. Now I do think that's funny, because it's a PG-13 movie. You only get one. And Tim Burton said, well, fuck it. We're going to leave it in, but bleep it out and give a good fuck you to the ratings board.
Like I said, that was funny.
That was funny.
I would give him credit for that. That did make me laugh out loud, unlike most of this movie.
Well, and when the first one dropped, like halfway through, I was just like, all right, there's the one. I even thought that, it was like, it won't get any more vulgar than that the rest of the movie. And then, well, fuck me, or bleep me, that was funny. So, Ziggy, Michael Keaton is the juice.
Yeah. Again, you think after all these years, I mean, there would have been the poster had him with his number was next. And I thought that was really cool. But yeah, man, this is where's the sadistic demon sense of humor, the threatening, you know what I mean? There was like, you know what I mean? It was peril facing off against Beetlejuice. You could get fucked up bad. And none of that here. None of it.
You could, for sure.
Yeah. But
FaZe?
Yeah, I mean, he's good. He's good, but it's the most watered down Beetlejuice possible.
FaZe.
I agree with that. He wasn't scary at all. If I ran into this Beetlejuice, I would not be one least bit scared. I'd be weirded out because he's fucking strange, but scared? No, man. I would not feel threatened. The original Beetlejuice is threatening.
Yes, this guy was your pal.
There's a big difference there. As far as his acting goes, I mean, it's just another one of those working with a bad script situation. I think Michael Keaton did all right.
Absolutely. He made the best out of what he could. Yeah. And I love his performance with this as much as I could.
Right.
This is like Howie Mandel and Fred Savage in Little Monsters. That kind of threatening your monster here. You know what I mean? It's very, very friendly.
Sure. Howie Mandel, Jesus.
I mean, like I said, you guys nailed it. I mean, Keaton did his job. He did as good as he could with the script. It just wasn't Beetlejuice, though, man. Like, the first Beetlejuice, like you said, I mean, come on. He was fucking horny. The Thorns came out and he went to the fucking warehouse.
Yeah.
And this one, he's scared of his ex-wife. I mean, I can explain why, but at the same time, it's like, it's not Beetlejuice, man. Like, he was just terrified the whole movie. Somehow his head got big again. I wish if they're going to explain anything, I wish they would explain that more so than his fucking backstory. I didn't need that.
That's a good point.
Sure.
Yeah,
You know
I would have
what?
liked to have seen that.
This could have been handled with a bicycle pump
Yeah,
and another claymation
simple.
thing, even if they wanted to.
just nothing scary, man. Sometimes you catch a glimpse of the old Beetlejuice just for a second. It's kind of like your buddy that was real crazy, but then they got older, went to AA, sobered up, found whatever they need to find to get along, and now they're just not as cool and funny as they used to be when they were on edge. It's just it's a little disappointing.
Yeah. BK even asked something about along those lines. You think it had anything to do with him being in his 70s? By the way, happy 76th birthday, Michael Keaton, a couple of days ago. But the original Beetlejuice role wasn't necessarily all that physical. At least not with
role.
Yeah, not with other people. I still think he could have been more threatening. There's a shot on a still that's in the trailer where he's like very close to the camera. He's got the dark eyes and he's got that menacing look. That's the most threatening he is in the entire fucking movie. But do you guys think his age had anything to do with it? Colonel, you were starting to say something. Sorry.
I don't think so. Because like I said, it's not a physical role. I mean, he's just delivering lines. Like it's just the lines he had to deliver weren't fucking great. Like I said, they weakened the character. They made him soft. I don't know how else to explain it.
There we go. They made him. Yeah, they made him soft. There you go. And Tarek, be careful with those comments.
They put the Batman suit on this guy 2 years ago, and he was okay. They can make that work. He can do this.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right, I'm going to hand this off to somebody. And on the next topic here, we got to talk about her because she's the Winona Ryder of the current age, Jenna Ortega as Astrid. And I'm almost pissed off that I have to miss a little bit of this, but I'm out of soda. I need to go get a refill. And I'm going to hand it off to Zigzag real quick, and I'll be right back.
Jenna Ortega. What can't she do? I mean, this is our girl. Is she coming back for Wednesday, or she's done with that?
She's coming back. Yeah,
they backed up the Brinks.
Bound to be. Yeah.
I think they're filming season 2 now.
Oh, I saw her talking about it, and I was like, wait a minute. But here she is again. I think she's kind of a perfect casting for this movie, for the role it was, because she's kind of exactly what Winona Ryder was. So that it totally works for me. I buy it 100%. It works. She's kind of a little bitchy, but I understand why they get deep into it. So, like all these kids, their parents know nothing. She can't offer any advice. Total resentment. She gets a cell phone call, and it says alleged mother, on the cell phone as the number. That made me laugh.
That's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, she's. I thought she did very well in this role. I thought she did the best with the material they had here. Colonel.
I'm with you. I mean, she did the best she could. It's just, I wouldn't say phoned in. I'm just saying at this point, I'm tired of her typecast.
Bingo.
I'm just tired of seeing her as the angsty teenage girl.
Bingo.
I mean, she was great in X. You know why? Because she wasn't the high school teenage girl. She was like a freshman in fucking college, wanting to experience life. Like everything after that, it's just angsty teenage girl. She's super typecast.
Yep.
She's a better actress than that, I believe. Because like I said, she did a fine job in this movie for what she was asked to do.
But it's the same kind of shit.
Same role. At the time, I was like, oh, okay, I'm watching Wednesday almost, except for she's showing a little more emotion.
Right. I just kept seeing her as Wednesday the whole time. Like, I like her as an actor, however you're supposed to say it. I guess not supposed to say that, but she's been a little overused lately.
Yeah, I can see that.
Just a little bit. She's everywhere right now.
Yeah.
Strike while the iron's hot.
She has done a couple other like dramatic roles that aren't in the horror genre that I need to check out. I can't remember what this one is called, but I think has something to do with like an inappropriate relationship with her teacher. That I've heard is a very good movie, but I haven't seen it yet, and I kind of want to check it out just to see if she plays the old Winona Ryder role, dressed all in black and all depressed, and
Sure.
but fucking her teacher. I don't know, so.
What the hell is the matter with you anyway?
No, what? It's an actual fucking movie, dickhead.
I know.
Okay, well, all right. Rick says, honestly, the most disappointing performance for me.
Really?
Herrick says Ortega is such a cool actor, great range. I want to see more of her range, though.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying.
The range she's showing right now is like.
I mean, but for what they handed her here, she was fine.
She handled it fine, yeah. And I don't necessarily have a complaint about her role in this.
Yeah.
I have a complaint about the writing for her role in this.
Yeah.
And I have a complaint about that her only taking roles like this.
Well, she was telling me how she wasn't telling me who the fuck am I?
Yeah, she was talking to
in
you.
an interview on News Speak, where she was talking about how she got the role. Where Tim Burton pretty much just handed her the script for Beetlejuice, like, here you go, it's yours if you want it.
Yeah, which is a cool story.
Yeah, but like I said, it's the same fucking character. It's not her fault. I just want to see her do something else.
Well, and he handed her the script during. If you want to tell the rest of the story,
No, you're fine. You're much better.
He hands her the script with, while they're in a meeting talking about the second season of Wednesday, and she's offering ideas where her character could have gone or could go in the second season of Wednesday, and he just slides a script over her notes and says, "Give it a look and let me know what you think." And she goes on and tells a story about how she parked on the side of Pacific Coast Highway and read it in an hour, and then called her representatives and said, "I can't tell you what I'm agreeing to, but the answer is yes," because she obviously couldn't talk about the movie yet.
Yeah.
So.
She's like, instead of playing a depressed goth chick, I got to play a depressed hippie.
She at least wore more colors in this, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fine role. It's just, again, watered down. Also. A lot of this movie is watered down.
I think we had more of a cast here this time too. They had to spread it around a little more, but maybe a little too much.
Maybe, yeah.
Not too much, man. Well, we haven't got there yet. I'll say that for later. I'm staring at the character right now that I think we got a little bit too much of. I didn't need as much screen time. Well, it's a little.
Tarek says she just needs to be horrifically miscast to break the mold. Reboot Legally Blonde and cast her. They just did. Didn't they do a Legally Blonde musical or something recently?
Fuck,
I
believe
believe
it. I don't know.
I'm not Googling that.
That's cool, BK.
Yeah.
Anyway, anything else to add on Jenna?
Nope.
Not really.
How about the supporting cast before we move on to Act 2?
Oh,
Kind of a
this one because I said I was going to save it.
all right. Get it, Colonel.
We needed a little less of. We needed a little less fucking Willem Dafoe. You have no idea how excited I was Willem Dafoe was going to be in this movie, and how disappointed I was who Willem Dafoe was in this fucking movie, man.
I think he was pretty much the most comic relief that this movie had.
He was
For a comedy.
It wasn't even funny, dude. It's just, and there's so much of him. Like, we didn't need that much Willem Dafoe.
The secretary.
Yeah.
That was funnier than
The secretary was hysterical.
It was funnier than he was.
Yeah.
Him every time showing up with a coffee. Yep, here you go. It's perfect.
Fuck, man. I mean, I want to say I don't think he did a great job. That kills me because Willem Dafoe usually knocks it out of the park.
Didn't need him.
Didn't exactly. He was the one of the.
Was
two
he
characters
one?
we didn't
Was he
like.
one that you didn't need? Ziggy?
Not as much. Oh,
Oh no, we're getting.
Oh.
I'm sure the one I'm talking about is coming up here soon.
yeah. Like I said, I'm not going to talk about all of them. Willem Dafoe's the one I'm going to tackle.
Yeah.
He drove the story forward. The character was much needed. I just don't think he's needed as much as we got him.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I thought it was pretty fun, honestly. I would say Willem Dafoe's character was probably the one that, outside of the main group, that I appreciated the most.
No, I'll be honest. What I appreciated the most was fucking Danny DeVito. It was a very short cameo.
It's very short, but
No
it
pun
worked.
intended.
It worked. Danny DeVito's in the first act, and
It's a good cameo.
pretty clever. Pretty
That
clever.
was cool.
But
I was like, oh shit, Danny DeVito. Like I got
Yeah,
fucking
same here. I was like,
You
oh,
could fucking tell
there he
from
is.
behind it was him, though. It's
of course, you could tell with his fucking voice.
hmm
But anybody else in the supporting cast you want to mention? Rory, Jonathan, or Justin Theroux?
he was good at being a prick, and how they got to the other side was because of his stupid shortcomings, his short sightings, his small ass brain. You got to face your fears. Beetlejuice, and boom, they're in. You know, avoided it for 45 fucking minutes, and then this dumbass comes in and fucks it all up. So yeah, he's the perfect fuck up idiot.
yeah.
Asshole.
See, I thought he was the one you were thinking they could have just written out. Who were you thinking they could have written out?
His fucking wife, his ex-wife, man, was so stupid. That whole thing was so.
Oh, Beetlejuice. is in-
Monica Bellucci?
Oh, I love her too, man, and like the Matrix and shit. But fucking, dude, what a waste! What a waste of a.
But
good
that
character.
was that was the thing that gave Beetlejuice a little bit of spark to want to get out of the afterlife and come back into the real world, or get some help at least.
He doesn't even know though until, you know what I mean.
I don't know.
That's true.
I see what you're saying, and
I just thought she would be a little bit more integral to the fucking thing, except they just cookie cutter the fucking same thing that happens in the first one.
oh no, it's just I think her entire role was just put in there for, hey, we've got a cool effect where we want to do in the first act.
Yeah,
and
that was
put this
great.
person back together
That was cool.
with the staples.
Other than that,
Yeah,
what did we
dude,
need her for?
Exactly. She was so featured in all the trailers and everything, and
Yeah.
I was bag. That was a misuse of her character. She could have been such a great fucking villain.
Yeah. All right.
I'm happy Colonel's on my fucking side with this.
Yeah.
I halfway agree. I'm not saying I don't, motherfucker.
So we're talking about
Funny, man, because I dig her a lot, man, and she does some cool things. I just thought she'd have a little bit more of a fucking piece of the story, and she does not.
I know, but
Yeah.
man, it's spoiler alert. We already flashed it. I'm not gonna go too much in detail. Man, I hate to see my dude Bob go though. That's sad when he's one of my favorite characters. I was like, that's my dude right there. I knew he wasn't gonna make it.
It's funny. I think a lot of people really like the Bob.
Yeah.
yeah,
He was the shit.
they appreciate it.
They gave him
The
the
people
credits.
behind me did.
Yeah, the mid credits that he was in there.
Yep. What about Arthur Conti as Jeremy, the Jenna Ortega, Twilight-esque love interest
Yeah, fuck
That-
him. I mean,
that didn't
the,
need to be a storyline whatsoever? Continue, Faze.
the stupid boyfriend dumbass, as my mom described. I mean,
It's about right.
he sucked. I hated his hair. I hated. It reminded me of all the douchebag boys I went to high school with. They had the exact same hair. They all thought they were so hot with that hair. They're not. It's a stupid fucking hairstyle. You look like a dick. But anyway, just saying.
New review topic for the future films we review. Faze, what'd you think of this character's hair?
Right. No. It made him look like a dick. But just didn't like him. My mom really hated him. And we'll get to a part later that I really hate with him. But
I can tell. She says, "Dumb fuck him."
Yeah. I don't know. What did you
I
think of
mean
it?
that's what I mean. It all played into this dumb story though, like why he's in it and what he's doing. And actually he's more sinister than fucking Beetlejuice is.
Yeah. I mean, his character all around is more sinister than Beetlejuice ever fucking was. Really.
Oh my God, yes, you're right.
Dude, I don't know. The dad in me was like, "Slow down, girl. You've known this boy 2 fucking days. do you really know him?"
Right.
For one, I wouldn't be dropping my daughter off some boy's house that she knew for 2 fucking days. That's terrible fucking parenting. Alone. And no, yeah. But anyway, like I said, it drove the story. I thought he was okay. What I don't know about you guys, but she's like, "Oh wow, you got a lot of '90s vinyl in here." He's like, "Yeah." I was like, Jesus.
I'm so emo. I'm so emo.
No. Yeah, I like the retro stuff.
I like the shit you can feel, or I don't trust anything you can't feel. Get the fuck out of here.
We feeling old as fuck, man. I was like, ooh,
Jesus Christ.
Every time he was on screen, I wanted to fucking just leave. Like, can we go, Bob? I'm tired of this guy.
Here we go. I got a couple comments on this. So, Rick said, "My 12-year-old loved him. LOL. Most of her friends did too." Well, of course, your 12-year-old daughter loved him.
He was built for them,
right?
For that age group.
The whole thing is like a young adult novel subplot. And then here comes my friend Ariel. I call her always differing opinion Ariel. She says, "I liked him and his short subplot." Love you, girl. I'm just fucking with you.
But, and then I just want to add that is the worst treehouse I have seen in a fucking movie.
Oh my God.
I was like, really? That's what treehouse do? Like, better.
It was a pretty worthless treehouse.
Bad.
Fucker couldn't even stand up all the way. Hit a crunch.
No, yeah, it is a bogus treehouse. Like,
all right, one last supporting cast member because somebody brought it up. Tarek wants to mention Bern Gorman, who played the father Damien. Great supporting character actor. Absolutely, he was a great part of it. I am not denying that, but too little, too, you know.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, wait, what was that? Lorena says,
"Yeah,
I've seen a lot of goddamn tree houses in my time, and this one sucked."
I'm fucking very disappointed.
All right. Act 2, baby. We're finally there. Nice fucking model.
I wish.
I did like the fact that they had the model still in the house. I started to think, man, that's so dumb. But I was like, no, I can dig on that. After Rory proposes to Lydia in front of the wedding, Astrid flees and meets Jeremy, who invites her over prior to the wedding so she can, hang out. Sometime later, Astrid discovers a box of items belonging to her father, Richard, who disappeared 2 years earlier in South America, and an ad to contact Beetlejuice. On Halloween, Astrid learns that... Got to get back over here for a second. Spoiler!
We've already spoiled quite a bit.
Yeah, but this one's kind of a big one for the plot of the story, so I want to give proper notice. Astrid learns that Jeremy is actually a ghost seeking her help to restore his life. He promises Astrid that she can reunite with her father if she helps him. The two enter the afterlife, and Astrid recites an incantation from the handbook for the recently deceased. Discovering Jeremy's past as a murderer, yes, murderer, you're right, Colonel, she is a terrible parent. Lydia reluctantly calls upon Beetlejuice to help retrieve Astrid. Beetlejuice agrees but demands that Lydia marry him, allowing him to stay in the mortal world and evade his vengeful ex-wife and murderer. Meanwhile, while conducting a ceremony grieving the death of Charles, Delia opens up a pot with 2 snakes in it that bite and kill her. So, Delia's dead now. Lydia consents to the marriage, and Beetlejuice and Lydia are transported into the afterlife train station in an attempt to stop Astrid from boarding the soul train, which we will talk about later, which transports souls into the beyond. By reciting the incantation, Astrid was tricked into switching places with Jeremy in order for him to regain his life. And while being escorted to the platform, Astrid notices that one of the station's employees is her father, who rescues her and Lydia. And also there, Beetlejuice comes across Jeremy and ends up sending him to hell. Lost in the afterlife, Delia desperately summons Beetlejuice, who agreed to help her find Charles's spirit if she helps him find Lydia, who along with Astrid was ushered away and returned to Wind River by Richard. So that's basically Act 2. Phase, you want to start with this? This is kind of a mishmash of a whole bunch of random shit that kind of works.
There's a lot of shit going on here. You mentioned the part that sent a dude bro to fucking hell, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's where the movie like pretty much completely lost me. Like, well, okay, so he's just gone now, which, you know, thank God, right? Nobody liked him. But like, really, this is all you're doing with this ghost kid? Like, this seems like the most wasted. Like, I don't know. As a writer, like you tend to say, Crank, it was a pretty weird fuck up in a script. Like, if I were editing this script, I would talk to the writer and be like, "Hey, you want to maybe complete this thought a little more?"
Wait, which thought? I'm sorry, I was looking at comments.
Boyfriend just getting yeeted off the hell and then never mentioned again.
Yeah, it was weird, but there's some other writing issues that I have problems with.
Plenty.
You know, plenty in this.
But that's the one that really stuck in my head, like, and just kind of ruined the whole film for me.
Well, we're there now. I guess I can talk about it. But the one that bothered me was, you know, when Astrid and Lydia are talking about Astrid's dad, Lydia says something like, "I see a lot of ghosts, but I never see your dad." And then immediately sees the dad. Has no problem seeing the dad.
That was dumb.
I know it's in the afterlife. Yeah, I know it's in the afterlife and everything, but it felt like bad writing. Anyway,
it was.
Colonel, Act 2.
Yeah, Act 2 is all over the fucking place, man. But I'll be honest, Act 2, I felt like I was watching more of the Beetlejuice cartoon than I was the Beetlejuice movie.
Somebody mentioned that.
Because, like I said, it was so fucking random. All kinds of shit going on. But, I mean, I did enjoy the part where Delia died. Because, you know, she paid extra to be defanged. Oh, it's safe. They're defanged. It's fine. No, she got ripped off and she's fucking dead.
That was funny. Instant death by snake.
But again, that's another Catherine O'Hara scene that just works.
Yeah, because like, it was fucking Delia. It fucking worked. It was great. Like I said, I had issues about the afterlife in this movie compared to the first. It didn't have the same feel that it had in the first one. You know, if you committed suicide, you're pretty much like a social worker. In the original, it could have really been that hard to put Miss Argentina back at the fucking window.
Yeah, dude, where was the fucking flat guy going in the cracks, hanging up by the, you know what I'm saying? All that shit was gone.
Because, you know, in the original, it was fucking, you know, just fucking caution, red tape, you had to break through. It was like going to the fucking DMV.
Yeah.
The afterlife was. Where this, it's like, the DMV's like its whole fucking city. Like, it just felt more like a cartoon than the Beetlejuice cartoon than the movie. This entire second act, which some of it worked. I appreciated the disposal of the wannabe boyfriend, just because I got a chance to hear Beetlejuice say "fucker." There was, you know, that's Crank. I was like, there it is.
Yep, there's the one.
And I appreciated the effects for the dad on how he died. I thought that was funny. All the piranhas on him.
Yeah, that was fun.
I mean, so it had some.
No, the fact that they're still twitching and like
they're still flopping. It just, like I said, then my boy Bob got fucking taken out, and just, like I said, it was just all over the fucking place. The writing was just all over the place on this one, man. It really was. The highlight for literally Act 2 for me, that was even Delia once she went to the afterlife. And she did the most Delia thing in the entire fucking movie. She's stomping. You know who I am.
I'm better than this.
Yeah, like, fuck this waiting in line. Like, it was fucking perfect for the character.
Yeah.
And then you got, like I said, get more awkward acting from Winona Ryder. It just didn't feel it still felt robotic like she did in the entire fucking movie. It just
yeah. We already talked a little bit about this. Tainted Love. I didn't like the whole love story angle. We talked about that though. But we got to talk about, and somebody already put it in the comments here. Lorena did. We got to talk about the Soul Train.
I'm just saying, missed opportunity not having someone come on and go, Soul Train. You know, that was, what the fuck, man? Are you serious?
And by the way, Tarek threw this in here. Nice fucking spoiler. Anyway, the Soul Train was one of the highlights of the fucking movie for me. I thought that was hysterical, and I know Lorena's mentioned a couple of times beforehand. I thought that was funny as shit. Yes, they missed that opportunity, but they kind of did it with I don't know if it was actually Don Cornelius or not, to be honest.
No,
he's dead. Yeah. But the Don Cornelius lookalike, I thought that was pretty clever.
And it should have made him deeper voice. He should have been going the Soul Train, baby.
Yeah. But I thought it was funny. I thought that was one of the funnier moments in the entire movie. I was chuckling pretty good at that. So, Ziggy, you're the radio guy. Thoughts?
Yeah, I enjoyed that part too, you know, but I was absolutely going like, really? You're gonna have something called the Soul Train? You use the Soul Train logo on the sign at the train station?
Use the dancers?
You're not gonna come out and go, Soul Train! You have to do that. And then it came up again, it was gonna say, okay, we're leaving. And they did it again, the Soul Train.
Mm-hmm.
Like the guy doing the products. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? Not good.
Tarek says the writers for this movie are Alfred Goh and Miles Millar. The last movie they co-wrote was I Am Number 4. Yeah, I think they're also the writers or showrunners for Wednesday as well, which is why I think this script got green lit so quick.
I think one of them might have been on that Gotham series too a few years ago.
That wasn't bad.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Colonel, did you like the Soul Train?
Yeah, I liked it the first time. That once we got back to it, I was like, okay, I'm kind of done with this. Missed the golden opportunity. It's making its round on the reels. I'm sure you guys seen it. There's an old Soul Train episode. You know, singing fucking Pusher Man from the Superfly soundtrack.
Yeah.
And you got the guy in orange just coked the fuck out of his mind on this weird fucking dancer, but was dancing all weird. You couldn't have one of the dancers doing that. Missed fucking opportunity. Like, I thought this was cool. This probably would have been my favorite part of the whole fucking movie if they just had that guy in it. Missed fucking opportunity, man.
Yeah. Faze, you might be a little young to know too much about the Soul Train, but you had to have known about that show. Yeah.
You are right. I'm a little young, but I enjoyed it. I appreciated this, and I can appreciate Ziggy for appreciating the how much better it could have been.
Ziggy does the Soul Train wail perfectly.
He does. That was good.
Don't give him too much. Don't give him too much of a big head here.
There were people sleeping upstairs. I would fucking belt one out how it's really supposed to be.
Sure.
And but we can't do that.
You might have to get a little further back from the microphone if you were going to do that.
Back a little further and probably grab a hold of my nuts and squeeze. But anyway, this could have been. This would have really, really helped. Probably would have added an extra point to this if they'd have did something like that.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah,
it would have been that cool. But Soul Train used to come on like right after the Creature feature on Saturdays. So I'd have the Creature feature, double feature, 2 horror movies, and then you knew once the Soul Train was there, it was time to go outside and do something else.
All right. I know we've already kind of talked about at least part of this, but writing and direction. Writing's lackluster. Direction, fine. The rest of it looks good. I love the opening. I love the opening scene where it's kind of like a repeat of the original, going through the town, drifting through. Nice little kickback. The set decoration up in the attic especially was really good. Afterlife was okay. I think could have been, like you guys have pointed out, though, didn't have any of the callbacks.
Lacking.
That, it could have had. But, yeah, the writing, abysmal. Colonel? Or no, Ziggy. I'll keep on you. Anything to add on any of that we haven't already talked about, the bad writing?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's terrible. It's for this, come this long with a sequel like this, you have to find a hard way to fuck it up, and you guys did a pretty solid job of really delivering a flat ass, uninspired revisit to these characters.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what else can be said?
Yeah. All right, Colonel.
Yeah, writing was bad and direction. It's a fucking Tim Burton movie. I mean, that's plain and simple. It's fucking Tim Burton. It's obvious. So
Yeah.
Phase.
Yeah, same. Just I already bitched about the writing, so just
I wouldn't even necessarily say the writing is that bad. It's just
sloppy.
It's just like this is passable, and that's annoying. So this has
minus the killing the boyfriend part. That's just dumb. That needs to be redone.
Right. This has nothing to do with it. I just thought it was a funny comment. What about the fake Joey Chestnut that died choking on the hot dogs?
That's pretty funny. Well, here's a question.
All right.
Who's your favorite ghost in the waiting room? Like for me, I love the burnt up Santa.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just chuckled every time I seen him.
They were all just gags. I mean, I thought they were kind of dumb. The one woman had a cat.
The cat lady, yeah, that was kind of funny. But
they
tried with
the original one, they're just gags too, man. Except for they had a little more personality. Like
right, they were better.
Right,
they went no further though. They had all that in the first one. Different, the chick cut in half. And the legs sitting there. The shrunken head guy. The witch doctor. All that was in the first one. All around that other shit happening in the busy ass, bustling office space. You know. And this time it was just a waiting room with one window.
Right.
Right.
Just
it was disappointing compared to the original.
Yeah. They stopped with the nice, a few new characters in the waiting room. Okay, good enough. Moving on.
Yeah.
Yes, Rick, I did notice the cats were eating the lady.
I was getting that too. Lorena says FaZe was like, "Oh, kitty," and Rick says, "Did you notice the cat lady's cats were eating her?" Of course.
Oh yeah,
because that's exactly what your fucking cat's going to do when you die, folks. Cat is going to eat you.
They tend to do that.
I'll get to that, Ariel. Okay. All right, Act 3, baby. Wedding Hell's Bells. Honestly, this should be Wedding Bells Hell, but it doesn't matter. I was going to change it, but that would have taken like 3 more minutes, and I didn't want to waste the time. So, sorry. All right.
We know you're a huge AC/DC fan. It's fine.
Yeah. And I was trying to keep a lot of these kind of musically inclined, but that's a whole different story. At a church in the mortal world, Lydia and Astrid arrive as Rory waits at the altar. Beetlejuice, with Delia's assistance, hijacks the wedding, injecting Rory with truth serum to reveal his intention to marry Lydia for money and to piggyback off of her fame. An enraged Lydia punches Rory, knocking him out. As Beetlejuice prepares to marry Lydia, an angry Dolores arrives to confront him. Using the handbook as a guide, Astrid unleashes a sandworm into the church, which Beetlejuice deflects like a bullfighter. A matador, causing it to eat Dolores and Rory whole. The church ceremony is then thwarted by Astrid, revealing that Beetlejuice violated the rules of the handbook by bringing Lydia into the afterlife, therefore making the wedding contract with Lydia null and void. Lydia then quickly returns Beetlejuice to the afterlife by saying his name 3 times, despite his objections. Afterward, Lydia and Astrid reassure Delia of their love for her as she also returns to the afterlife, where she soon reunites with a headless Charles before boarding the Ziggy
Soul Train.
The mic
For-
did not peak that time.
for heaven. And then there's a little bit of a coda at the end, which I'm going to include here. Sometime later, Lydia films the final segment of her last episode of Ghost House, opting to spend time with Astrid and wanting to go see some of the creepiest things all around the world. Despite this, Lydia continues to have nightmares about Beetlejuice, including one in which Astrid marries a young man while traveling the world, only to then give birth to Beetlejuice's child after a false awakening within a lucid nightmare where Beetlejuice lays beside her and says, "I just had the weirdest fucking dream." Lydia looks at the side of the bed, traumatized and alone. And end scene, roll credits. Who was it? Colonel? Was it you that said earlier that the ending was what really disappointed you, or was that Ziggy?
I think it was everybody, but I know it's definitely me.
Let's start ahead. Start us off, Colonel.
Yeah, it just this whole third act was, god damn it, just terrible. Not terrible, just could have been better. I know it's Beetlejuice. You have to have a fucking musical number where people are possessed and they're singing and dancing. That it was just awful. It was stupid. That's where my eye rolls were coming in. That entire fucking song. It was way too long. Way too long. Beetlejuice being the matador, like I said, felt like it was the cartoon more so than a Beetlejuice movie.
Yeah,
I didn't mind it, but it felt like the cartoon. Rick said it earlier. I was very disappointed we didn't get the little dude from the first one to marry.
Oh, the little priest.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
I don't like I said in the first one. Like I said, it's almost the same fucking ending. All right, but the first one there was tension to it.
Mm-hmm.
There was no tension in this entire third act. It was just here. Let's tie it up with a nice little bow. Here you go. There's your movie you guys have been bugging us about for 36 fucking years. Enjoy.
The tension
Ziggy.
was waiting for the fucking song to end.
Dude, I didn't mind the song. We can talk about that scene in a second, but I didn't mind the song. Phase, go ahead. What were your thoughts on Act 3?
I mean, really, just my mom put it pretty well with the song. Just she called it the cake in the rain, fucking piece of shit or something like that. Just like, just so many. She's posted a lot of lyrics and they're terrible. But outside of that, I mean, Colonel was right. There was no tension. It was just like, let's get on with it and end this damn thing already. Like, That's nothing more I could say.
Ariel actually agrees with Colonel this time around. I found the entire song at the wedding scene pretty annoying. The song was fine, but I didn't think it needed to last so long.
Sure.
So, and you too, Faze, agreeing with you. Ziggy?
There was a little bit of magic when they did Deo like this.
Yeah.
And you couldn't look away from it. It just was enchanting. This is not. You know, I mean, it's okay.
I disagree. But
it's okay.
It's a decent recapturing of that old scene. You're not going to capture it perfectly. Even if you did Deo again, you're not.
Well, they did do Deo again, which I thought was kind of funny.
That was funny.
But for me, I mean, I'm kind of Zag. Like, you know, in the original one, you were enchanted by it. You watched it. This one, it felt like you couldn't keep your eyes off of it. Like when you see a car wreck and you're driving by and you just have to look, you know, that's what it felt like to me.
No.
Sorry, Zag. Go ahead. I didn't mean to steal your thunder. I just want to jump on that point.
It's what it was. I mean, they put a couple of gags in it. You know, they got everybody's lip syncing. They can't help it, and they're doing dance moves. And my internet's crashing.
You did freeze there for a second. You're moving now.
New modem.
Right there.
I'm watching it go up and down right now.
Shitty Michigan internet, ladies and gentlemen.
Fucker, man. I haven't rebooted this thing though since we had it. So okay, but yeah, that's where we're at with it. And they dance around. They have some some moves that they choreograph together. I mean, much cooler when they're all in sync and they seem like they can't help themselves. And they try to do that. They can't help themselves, but it's more like, oh, this is weird, while they're doing their thing. And it's not as cool, and it's way too long this time.
No, you're right. It's not as cool, but it was okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. And I was smiling through most of it. I don't know why they picked that fucking song, but I am worried as a karaoke host that someone's going to want to sing that song this week. I'm so fucking worried about that.
Find a shortened down version or something. Like
there's no screaming.
A 2-minute version.
There's no screaming in it, so I guess it would be allowed.
Find it. Available.
It's out there somewhere. I probably have it
now.
It will be.
Oh. All right. You've already kind of talked about it, but the music and that scene, and we can talk about Danny Elfman's score as well in this. I didn't mind that scene. The other part, the other musical part that I thought was hysterical was the Richard Marx moment. I thought that was hysterical because I thought that played out perfectly, and I didn't mind that at all. I chuckled pretty good at that. Ziggy, I'll start with you on the music. What the music was okay, good, bad?
Well,
Danny Elfman.
Yeah, but it's at the beginning. There's a couple of notes I heard in the middle, not much, a couple of bars here and there, and then at the end there was a little bit, but the rest of it was soundtrack, man. They were the rock songs and shit.
There were a few, yeah. I think there were a few moments, more moments from, but they were all inspired kind of by the '88 score. Yeah,
right.
So
it's pretty much the same thing. But I mean, yeah, when it was there, it was great. Wasn't there a lot?
Lorena says they also ripped off music from Carrie. Not sure I noticed that.
They did. Yeah, I agreed immediately. Like there's music from Carrie, like towards the end.
Huh.
I'd have to rewatch Carrie. I haven't seen that in years to even would have picked up on that.
Yeah.
Gives me a good excuse to rewatch Carrie. So
good point. Alex says they could have brought back the biggest actor and singer, Robert Goulet.
Yeah, he got hammered. Took a big hammer in the original one.
In the original, yeah. All right. Nothing to add for music in that scene? Colonel?
Yeah, I was going to say Danny fucking Elfman. I enjoyed the score because Beetlejuice has a great fucking score. Mm-hmm. Like I said, there's a few notes where he added a few different things here to make it slightly different. And I don't need to talk about that scene anymore. You guys already know about my thoughts on the scene.
All
right.
How about the finale? The little wrap up dream sequence, whatever. What was that? Was that just to put a little bow on the end of the movie, or what'd you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I did appreciate the scene in Baby Beetlejuice. I thought that was funny. I do appreciate there's actually some gore. Well, not gore. There's some blood in this movie.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I appreciated that. Like I said, it was funny. It was a last little laugh for me.
Yeah. All right. Ziggy?
Yeah, it's just a little bit. I guess they tried to throw a little bit of that stuff at you too little, too late, but it still doesn't really. It's not like him, that being a demon and stuff like. It's not the same vibe, man, like that. So I mean, but I appreciated the effects at the end. A little bit of blood, sure, that was nice.
Phase.
Yeah, it was all right. It was like you said, tied the bow up. Did what it had to do.
But were any of you getting any sense out of the finale that they might be setting it up for a third chapter?
Fuck, I hope not.
Everything's being left open these days. And a little bit.
119 million for the weekend, probably.
110.
They'll shit out another script, I'm sure.
110 domestic, 145 worldwide for the weekend. So. I smell threequel.
Yep.
Almost smells like a nappy pussy, but I could be wrong. Colonel?
Yeah, of course. Because why would they not leave it open? Like I said, everybody leaves it open for a sequel. This is Dawn of Time. I mean, hell, even the first one they kind of left open for a fucking sequel.
Yeah.
It just took 36 years to get it. Yeah, they left it there. I think it's unnecessary. They left it open for one.
I think they're going to do it.
Which is sad.
You know?
And we'll go fucking see it. They don't make fucking good money again. Just
All right.
Yeah.
There's a good question. Rick asked, Colonel, did you take Sarge to the movie?
I did not. It was a rare weekend that she was actually at her mother's house. And my oldest had her homecoming dance. So I had a few hours to kill, and I signed up for the Regal thing. So I'm like, not too bad. It's a pretty good deal. Seeing this and Strange Darling for like $30. I was happy. So no, I didn't take Sarge. She wasn't a big fan of the first one either, because I tried to show her the first one a couple times. She just kind of gets bored with it.
Really?
Yeah, but she likes Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Go figure. I figured Beetlejuice a hell of a lot more.
Wait a few more years.
I don't know. She's not going to be my spooky kid, man. I don't think that's going to happen. She's two rainbows and unicorns and princesses. Right now, we'll see what happens when she gets older.
That's fair.
Bobby wants to know, didn't see it, but did they have anything that beats the table dance scene with the Deo song? And we just discussed it about 10 minutes ago. I didn't mind it. No, it's not. Nothing's going to beat the Deo song. But this came close for me. Everyone else hated it. So, and Rick, I'll get to that other comment here in a little bit. All right. There weren't a whole lot of ties to the original. There wasn't a whole lot of fan service with this. It was just kind of cinematically, it was a trip back to 1988 in a way. And that's about it. The pieces that we kind of really wanted were written off. The Maitlands, written off, but like I said earlier, the model being up in the attic was cool. The statue just out in the lawn that Delia that in the first one, that's cool to see in a few shots.
It's other than that, the fucking school. Pretty funny.
Yeah. Other than that, there wasn't a whole lot, man. I mean, there was some characters down in the afterlife, but I mean, did you notice anything that I might have missed, Ziggy?
I don't think so.
Colonel was raising his.
I know Rick mentioned it earlier because I said you could have had like their wedding dress and tuxedo, which he did mention. Now that I thought about it,
the wedding dress is there
in the movie.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't recognize it watching the movie, but he mentioned okay.
Yeah, that red one.
It's still a lame throwback. I would rather if it had been in the house, like hanging up in the attic or some shit. Yeah, I would have liked a little more fan service out of this. I'm not going to lie.
Well, and a lot of times we complain, though, that some movies go too far with the fan service. This one seemed to go nowhere with a lot of the fan service. Would you agree with that, Ziggy?
I do. They were trying to, get a standalone movie here, and it's just not strong enough.
I would have been thrilled to see, like, I don't know, when they're in the afterlife, a football player walk by or something, or they go run by a football player.
Yeah.
They did. I didn't again.
Right.
But little stuff like that would have been fine. I don't think that's too over the top. That just
I would have liked that girl that was cut in half to like slap Beetlejuice or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even if she was put back together in some way, like stapled together.
But then again, like I said, this isn't knocking the times. We've advanced as people over the past 36 years, which is a good thing. But I don't see Beetlejuice really just rubbing somebody's fucking leg like he did in the original.
Not this time.
So
it didn't even have to involve that. He could have just walked by and been like, "Hey, do I know you?" Slap.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. That could have been it, and it would have been a good laugh for the people that love the '88 film. The girl sitting right behind me when I saw it, dressed up as Lydia, looked great. Had a like a stuffed sandworm and everything. It was cool. I even told her I was like, "I like your getup," and then I realized she probably has no idea what getup means.
Yeah.
Because she was only like 20.
You should be like, I like your cosplay. And
Yeah.
nailed it.
But
I don't know what
thing
Get
that-
Up means.
thing that came out of my head was Get Up, like a 50-year-old dumbass. So couldn't help it. All right. Here we are, folks. Final thoughts and score. FaZe, I'm going to start with you.
For like the 5th time in a row. All right.
Oh,
so-
okay. Fuck. Never mind then. Colonel, I'm going to start with you.
Now go with someone else. I want to hear someone else. Go with Ziggy.
All right, Ziggy then. Jesus.
I don't have a drop this time for this one. I wasn't as put off as I was by The Crow by this one. Again, as I stated in the beginning, it was nice seeing some old friends like this 36 years later. Some of them a little more than others. Some were better than others. But in the end, if you're a fan of Beetlejuice, the original, the cartoons, the toys, you'll be okay. You'll have a good time here. I just wish it was a little bit stronger of an entry. Just break the fucking trend. Make a good movie. But in the end, like I said, you're getting your Beetlejuice, and I'm giving this thing a 5.
Damn. All right. FaZe.
All right. Well, I will say when the movie first started and that Danny Elfman soundtrack is hitting you hard, I was excited. I was ready. I was excited to be hearing a lot of that soundtrack and was very disappointed at the end when you only had like maybe 5 minutes total of Danny Elfman in the whole fucking film. But, besides that, it was an average, I kind of wish I'd watched the original beforehand so I could compare directly, but yeah, whatever. And I didn't really mention this before, but Tombstone thing really put me off. That is a -2 immediately. So this is a 3.
Jesus.
Yep.
Wow.
Damn.
Colonel, fuck.
I'm kind of Zag. It was nice to go back in the world of Tim Burton and Beetlejuice. Like I said, we caught up with old friends. Even though I wasn't none too satisfied where most of them were. I am with FaZe. I'll say it again. I'm not too thrilled that the fucking pedo was making some money for them using the like of his likeness in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
They could have worked around that. That just didn't sit right with me the whole fucking time. Very watered down, very safe. Yeah, I could have taken Sarge to seen this.
Yeah.
She just heard me say worse than fucker in the house. So that's the worst thing in the movie.
There were a few like gross moments, but they were Nickelodeon gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Double Dare gross.
Old school
Exactly.
Nickelodeon.
I mean, I did kind of, I don't like kind of the direction they had these characters go. I wasn't too thrilled with Lydia. I wasn't even thrilled with Beetlejuice being watered down and no longer being the villain, just being selfish, but just not being evil about it like he was in the first one. And again, it gave feelings of Rob Zombie's The Monsters at times. Looked great. The soundtrack was great. Third act could have been rewritten completely, and I would have been happy. There's a lot of people saying they love this, and that's awesome. They loved it because I love the original Beetlejuice. I love the cartoon. Love the toys as a kid. I did not love this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 5, middle of the road. I can't go any other direction.
Wow. I can't believe I'm going to be the highest score on this, but not by a whole lot. This slightly above average, almost all the way across. Like these guys have said, and like we've been saying for the last hour and a half, the biggest irritation I have about this whole movie, besides the writing, is, well, the writing is included in this, is that Beetlejuice is watered down. I was expecting, especially after the marketing campaign and the interviews with Michael Keaton, oh yeah, he's still as politically incorrect as ever. No, he's not. No, he's not. And that's annoying. Especially when you say he's going to be politically incorrect. You better bring it. There better be a crotch grab. There better be, some sexist or sexual perverted comments. Maybe not sexist comments, and that could have been part of the humor, with Lydia explaining, hey, now you don't talk that way in this day or something. They could have ran with that.
The writers were too scared.
And I think that's what it was. And one of the first things I said about this movie is it's the safest Tim Burton movie I think I've ever seen. And I'll stick with that because it took very few chances. The Beetlejuice baby was about the only chance I remember in this movie. Everything else was just watered down and weak. And I'm giving this a 6.5 at the most. And that's still, weak. I was hoping for a whole lot more. So I know somebody else gave it a rating in here. Rick says 7. Okay, so I'm not the highest. Woo! And Bronson has a good point. I think they should have made the sequel in the 90s, like I said earlier. Yeah, that probably would have been better. As long as it wasn't the original concept that they were going. Because wasn't it like Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian or something like that?
I don't know. That sounds
because Kevin Smith got asked to direct it. He got asked to do a rewrite, and he was like, yeah, I think... he said, didn't we say everything we needed to say with Beetlejuice in the first movie? Why take him tropical?
Yeah.
That was Kevin Smith's response. I remember that now. Rick, I still want to talk about what you're talking about, your friends from an early screening thing here in a minute. So stick around. We'll get to that. Tarek says, with the only real benchmark is what came before, would this movie be any good without the first one having existed? I doubt it. I think this movie would have been just very average. Personally.
Yeah, I agree. I think it would. I think I would have felt the same about it. Because nothing stood out. It was a movie.
It was just average. That's all. Lorena says, and the Beetlejuice baby was straight out of bad taste. Yes, I'm aware, but still one of the better parts of the movie, I thought. And Tarek says, Crank quoting The Evening with Kevin Smith talked perfectly. I love that DVD. I used to watch that all the fucking time. His Superman Returns story is something that must be seen by virtually everybody that's in the movies at all. All right. I'm going to take the floor for a bit here. I mentioned this earlier in the show. I got back from Topeka, Kansas for the Slash and Bash Horror and Sci-Fi Film Festival held at the Woodshed up there this weekend. And, I had a pretty good time. I went up there by myself. I didn't even attempt to lure any of these guys into it because I knew they'd be like, no. Yeah, no. But I had a good time, man. Keith, the critic, is the host of this. He's been a critic in the Topeka area for like 40 years. Been doing this show for about 22 years. Took a couple years off during COVID and 1 year for the writer's strike. And then, like I mentioned earlier, he's had some health issues and things like that. Had a few strokes. But super people up there. Nice people up there. I bought a shit ton of stuff. Man, and one of the highlights was Mark Patton and Kim Myers from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 were there. And I've met Mark Patton before. Ziggy and I have met Mark Patton before, I know. And I think FaZe was there too. Well, you weren't there that year in Oklahoma City?
No, I was there. That's right. I just wasn't able to get a print for some reason. I think I was broke.
Yeah. But I was hoping to get a print with both of them and do some stuff with that. But Mark ended up not feeling all that well and was only there for like a day and a half. So I missed out on him because I was too busy kind of networking the first day. I didn't get there until late the second day because I had some karaoke issues come up Friday night that needed remedying on Saturday. But I did get the get rid of that. There we go. Did get a nice print from Kim there. And actually, she ended up giving me two because I mentioned this one looks like the exact one that I have from Mark, which is up on my wall, like over here somewhere. Oh, it's right there.
There.
You can kind of see the shadow of it. But
yeah.
I like the fact that this was kind of like a mirror image of that, so I can put those two together. There was... Oh, man, I wish I had the business cards, but I don't. There was a vendor putting these little tins together, which I kind of dug, so I got this one.
Reflection there.
Yeah, I know, it's getting a big reflection, but there we go.
There you go. That's cool.
I got that one. And then this one's a little bit bigger.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Thought those were cool. I can't remember what the vendor's email or website was right now, but if you guys are interested, let me know. Got a couple of it's funny, you guys, one of you mentioned Dracula earlier. A couple of these they're raised print. I don't know if you can kind of see it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Got a couple of these. I'm going to show this one. I actually got this for a friend of the show and a friend of karaoke, Jonathan, because he always gets me a fucking birthday present, and I never reciprocate. But the last time he brought me a fucking shirt, or no, he brought me that Friday the 13th wall hanger that's back here.
Crank, I knew you're an asshole, but shit.
I know, I'm a dick. But he brought me this just a few months ago for my birthday. And I finally got him something in return. He's a huge Jaws freak. I hope he's not watching right now, but he might be. But I got him that from the same artist. Got to watch a couple of movies while I was there. One called Body Count with Patricia's friend, Jennifer Nangle. Fun flick. Little female-driven horror flick. And then I got to watch Effed, Tales from the End Times, and there were a bunch of cast and crew there, so I got a signed poster from them, along with how did this fall on the floor? Along with one of their earlier films on Blu-ray. Then one of the weirder things, or not weirder things I got, but more interesting items I picked up. Beatrice Bopple was there, who played Sister Amanda in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5. Now, she has written a book, which is a prequel that tells the story of the Nightmare Before Elm Street, The Krueger Curse. And it's very short, so there's not a whole lot to it. But she autographed this, and I picked this up. So,
oh, cool.
I haven't checked it out yet, or I haven't read it yet, but I'm curious to get into that and see what happens. So, but yeah, that's my haul. And man, the show small, but not greatly attended. I'm not gonna unroll it, but I also got a Texas Chainsaw poster from Brett Wagner. Walked in on Friday, checked into the hotel. Brett Wagner's the first person I see. He's like, "Hey, what's going on? Where are the rest of the guys?" I'm like, they didn't make it this time. He's like, "You're flying solo?" Yep. All right. So when I saw him Sunday morning, he was like, "Hey, since you're by yourself, come sit down with me." I was like, "All right." And we had breakfast that morning. It was kind of neat. And we chatted about everything but horror, and it was kind of fun, you know. But Friday was neat. Saturday was we all thought was going to be busier, but really wasn't busy, man. But Sunday there was a flea market that was outside of the event center, and the flea market had more people than showed up for this fucking thing. And I felt kind of bad, especially for the vendors and the celebs that were there, and even Keith, the organizer. But this is an event that I think could be pretty cool, and it may need to be in a different venue, honestly. The hotel was cool. I'm pretty sure the hotel was fucking haunted where I was staying, because I got this weird vibe walking into there. And I asked the front desk, and they say, we've had a few stories and a couple of videos that, the security guy has, but the area of town where the event center was, maybe it's just Topeka in general. I haven't been there in a while. Pretty small place, pretty small town, but I think there's a lot of messed up stuff going on up there, if you know what I mean. And I'm not slurring or lisping my words. I mean messed up.
That's messed up, man.
Yeah, that's messed up. There was a guy, I swear to God, Saturday walked by.
He said this.
Sort of. Guy walked by Saturday while I was kind of by myself at this point, just smoking by myself, but there was a group of people that knew each other on the other side. He walked up to them, was just like, "Hey man, I was just over here and I got surrounded by a bunch of people, and I barricaded myself in this abandoned building over there and fought them off, and they ran off. They were trying to give me the AIDS, man. So, and be careful, because they're out there, man. But you got to stay in the light. They can't get you in the light. All right, God bless," and walked off. And I had my nose in my phone, and I kept my nose in my phone. I was just, by myself, leave me alone. And that group that he ended up talking to was just like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But, some good food. I had some good barbecue at Dickie's. Thank you, Dickie's. Can't remember where else I ate. Jared formerly from the Horror Syndicate, recommended I go to the Pennant and get a smash burger, which was good. I did do that. Yeah, fun trip. I think we could, if we ever got to go there, we could have a little bit of fun. Maybe, do something there.
We could smoke some meth, that's for sure.
Yeah, smoke a little meth. But I think at some point I wouldn't mind getting Keith the Critic on and just doing something with him. And I also would like to get the filmmakers from these. Ash Hamilton is one that I can remember. There were a ton that I met up there. Can't remember much of them right now, but Brett Blakely, I think, was one. Steven, a couple others. Fun little flick, man. And I think it's going to be coming out on November. So on streaming and stuff. So look it up. And this one, wherever the other Holes in the Sky is already out on streaming right now. I think they said Prime and Tubi and a couple other places. So check it out. So, yeah. Any questions about the weekend?
Well, sounds like you had a good time, man. I'm sure you didn't, but did you at least look for the guys in the shadows that were giving people AIDS?
I did not.
Fair enough. I wouldn't either, man. They sound like some dangerous folks.
Yeah.
Colonel asked my question, so I'm good.
I did not. I'll tell you one of the best parts about the whole weekend. No pizza.
No.
God damn. Don't throw in the shade at Ziggy.
It's fun. I didn't tell him this when I was throwing shade at him in the video the first time. I actually had pizza like the night before I left. So at home.
God damn.
And I finished it today.
He was stacked. Wow. Already stacked. The odds were him getting pizza were it's almost non-existent.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So So yeah, if you guys are ever up there in the Topeka area, go and check that out.
Well, he had a couple of pretty good guesses. I mean, that's for sure for something that seemingly small.
That's small, yeah, not bad.
It was pretty small, man. I was a little disappointed, but it is what it is. Adam says you guys should add Through the Eyes of My Mother. It's on Max. Pretty disturbing stuff about a woman who goes crazy after witnessing her mother being murdered. I'll put it on the list. And then Rick, this kind of surprises me. He mentions getting word from friends at the early screening of Speak No Evil that it's the best thing Blumhouse has ever done. Well, honestly, that's not really a high bar.
Hello bar.
Hey, there we go. There's Brett right there. Yeah, man, it's great chatting with you. I do have some video. I did some interviews with some of the cast and crew of Effed Tales from the End Times. I'm going to chop that together. I got an interview with Jennifer Nangle, and actually we carried on for a little bit longer than I thought we would, but I got an interview with Keith because we started talking about he's an old radio guy. So, and there was one point where he's talking to somebody about, I've been doing radio for 40 years. And I kind of leaned around and told her that's back when it was analog, So,
yep. Razor blades, grease pencils.
Yep. Met some great people there. And I know you guys, especially FaZe, always not necessarily gives me a hard time, but mentions, Crank is the kind of person that just walks up to anybody and starts talking to them. And yeah, I had to do that all fucking weekend. So it was fun. All right.
Social butterfly just flapping his wings in Topeka, Kansas.
He sure does. He's so beautiful.
That's all I got. Hopefully we'll talk a little bit off the air about it, but Slash and Bash Film Festival, good work, guys. And, hope you guys thrive and grow, and continue to grow, and hopefully, maybe we can be a part of it next year. All right,
I'd be down.
Yep.
I turn the floor over to you guys.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Colonel don't even want to go here. But hey, man, it is that time of year again, folks. BCS Sports. Yeah. There we go.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
There,
Football season is back. Colonel, where's your mask, buddy?
It's on the fucking wall where it belongs, man.
Oh, yes, baby. The Detroit Lions.
Get on with it. Get on with it.
They started their season. Yeah, we're at the end of the show here. Football is on. Football is back. Me and Colonel have Super Bowl teams, hopefuls. And the Lions in their second season of being relevant. And it's we're loving every minute of it. Stole one in overtime last night against the Rams of L.A. and Matt Stafford, our former quarterback. 8 running plays in overtime to beat them and win the game. 1-0, baby. 16 to go. Colonel, what happened on your side?
The Zach Taylor era. We are currently 1-10 in weeks 1 and 2. So we've won one game in the first 2 weeks the past 6 years. That tradition continues. All the issues we had on defense last year, apparently still there. Middle of our defensive line sucks. Can't stop the run. They don't play in the preseason. They're rusty as hell. There's no rhythm or timing on offense. But hey, that's okay because we have the Chiefs this week.
Woo!
So hopefully, like I say, we're 2-10 in the first 2 weeks. But that's okay because 3/4 of the division all lost week 1. Somehow the pitiful Steelers are in first place. The division's still ours, but I think home field advantage is just not going to be within reach this year.
It's funny. In the playoffs last year, Detroit played the Rams and then played Tampa Bay before going to San Francisco for the championship, NFC. We've got the Rams last night. Hey, you sit there and be quiet, non-football.
Oh, I thought I was
place. There you go. Mute that bastard. And then we got Tampa Bay again this year, just like we did in the playoffs. So, I mean, it's like the same thing. They're going to be pissed off just like the Rams were. So that's all I got to say about it. Lions 1-0. We're off and running. Stopping at nothing but a Super Bowl, baby.
said Bengals 0-1, and that's okay because we were like fucking below 500 when we went to the Super Bowl and then the AFC Championship the year after that. So we'll see how this goes. I'm not saying that, but we'll see.
And that's DCS Sports.
Yes.
All right, Crank, we're done.
Oh, okay.
Yay, Lions. All right.
Well, we're waiting.
We're done.
Go. Where is it? There was somebody said it.
Go Sports Ball.
Yeah, there it is. Go Death Curse Sports Ball. Yay.
My mom suggested DCS puppies and kitties. I'm down for that segment.
Yeah, of course you are. Oh, man. Yeah, Rick says, yeah, well, my quarterback sucked, and he's getting sued again for sexual misconduct, so go Buckeyes.
God damn it.
I wasn't going to say anything about that. But
Jesus.
it's not working out well.
Well,
What surprised me about that was the Browns' lack of defense. I did not expect Dallas to put that many points up on the board.
well,
That defense is solid, though. They'll right the ship. It's going to be a 4-team race in the AFC North like it always fucking is. They'll be fine. The Browns will be fine.
he's got a fan in Jeffrey Jones, so it's all good. All right. Yeah, Alex says Ziggy and Colonel will have their own sports show on stream.
Yeah.
It's
For
not a
now.
bad idea.
Yeah.
For the
Just
next
it's
like
kinda
20 weeks.
It's by force. You know, everyone's got to sit through it. That's why we decided to put it at the end of the show tonight, just to, that way we don't lose any new viewers right out the gate going to sports show.
All right. Guys, before we sign off, next week, we're going to have Jeff and Beth come on from Morgan Crypt Horror Fest. I better say it right. Jeff and Bethany from
Yes.
Morgan Crypt Horror Fest. Before I get some angry Instagram message. We're going to be talking about Morgan Crypt coming up September 27th through the 29th. We're going to be there. Most of us are going to be there.
Most of us will be there.
Most of us will be there. I'm going to bring Curse Your Luck, and we're doing some panels and all other stuff. But we're going to talk with them about a lot of the guests that they've announced so far. Maybe they'll announce some on the show. Wink, wink. Jeff, wink, wink. But yeah, so tune in next week for in-depth interview with Jeff and Beth and more
Inner
DCS
workings.
Sports.
Inner workings of Morgan Crypt and
Yep.
another edition of DCS Sports.
That's what I said. God damn it. All right. Ziggy, send him out.
Yes. I'm stoked because we get to start ramping up to a convention here, one that we're all over it. So I love it. And it's going to be fun. And if you guys, you met them last year when they came on, they're pretty hip and cool for people that run a convention. They're kind of a rarity.
They're great.
Damn.
It'll be a good time. Very laid back, I think. What's that?
I just said, damn.
Hey, we've been around. We've seen some what's going on here. I don't know.
They return our phone calls at least.
Right,
That's nice.
You know what they.
Right. Some people are easier to talk to than others. Let's just leave it at that before we get in fucking trouble now.
Good God.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Yes. So yeah, that's
Colonel.
all I got. Thanks. We'll got that next week. Love you guys, and I don't know. I've got like my fucking eyeballs pushing out of my head. I've had a migraine like the entire show, so I've been suffering. But I'm glad it's over. Colonel, get us the fuck out of here.
Oh, I fucking will. Thank you for joining us for our Beetlejuice review. We can put that one in the books. We're done for a few weeks. Yes, very excited to have Jeff and Beth on here. They are very cool con promoters. Like I said, they're good fucking people. I'm looking forward to having them on the show.
And they're fans first.
Yes.
That's not always the case with some of these promoters.
Very
correct. So there's a few that come to mind off the top of my head. Speaking of a few that come off top of my head, I will also. It's going to be fun. The kickoff is at 4:25. I'm literally only going because I bought tickets for somebody for for their birthday, and they're no longer going. So now I will be doing solo on the final day. Everybody knows Sunday's the worst day at a fucking con.
Fuck.
For Horror Hound Cincinnati this Sunday. I won't have quite a good hauls, Zag or Crank, because it's broke bitch season in Colonel household. So I'll have like a T-shirt to show you guys. Look what I got. And that'll be about it.
Oh,
So,
I spent way more money than I
Yeah,
probably should have, but
there's not going to be much to cover. I'll try to get something, but we'll see.
I should mention, I forgot about this. It is all this week. I'm actually hooking up with Rick here on Wednesday in Cleveland, and we're going to see Zombie is being screened.
is that it?
Yeah, and then hoping to get a couple of words with Fabio. We're gonna try. I don't know what's gonna happen because they're not really getting back to me. But I'm bringing all the gear with me. You know me. I'm gonna go ask. I'm gonna fucking ask.
Of course
sure.
you are.
Yeah, and
you should. I'm not.
And
You
I should,
absolutely
exactly.
should. Oh wait, I think he just responded. He does have a couple of words for you.
Oh, thanks, man. Fabio, breezy, ladies and gentlemen. Then on Friday the 13th. I'm actually hooking up with DCSer Adam Christopher. We're going to head over to Monroe for the Monroe Comic Con. Is happening over there. We're going to pop in on Friday, go specifically to meet J.O. Barr. He's never met J.O. Barr, so he's there. And I'm going to ask him what he thinks of the new Crow movie, just to cause some trouble.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
During the day, I assume you're going, correct?
In the evening. It's like 5 o'clock or something like that.
Really? All
yeah,
right.
why? What's up? Got something?
Anniversary.
I'll be back before,
All right.
Yeah, I realize this. This is 7, isn't it? 6, 7,
8, maybe your time.
8. No. What? It's
Oh, it'll be
1, 2, 3, 4, 7.
Yeah.
7 years of this shit.
Fuck yeah, baby.
Yep.
I give it about 8 more months.
8 months. Friday the 13th. I assume we're going to do a Friday the 13th stream.
Yeah,
for our 7-year anniversary. We've done a stream every year since, just about.
We might as well, because it'll be the last anniversary we get to.
The last time we can stream the game on the actual anniversary.
Yep.
Right.
So stay tuned for that. And Phase, send them out.
Well, just thank you all for watching, as always. Always appreciate you. Don't forget to thank the members before we leave. But
I got it queued up.
Very excited for Morgan Crypt coming up here. I'm super excited to talk to Jeff and Biff next week. They're always just the best.
Jeff
it's gonna
and
be
Biff.
a good 2 hours. That's about all I have to say. Fuck that movie we just reviewed.
She's gonna kill me. I can't believe, what was it? 3 from you, 5 from Ziggy. What was Colonel?
5.
Thanks for remembering, asshole.
5. And wow, 6.5. And then a 7 from Rick. Jeez.
Rough.
It's been a while since we've been all across the spectrum,
Yeah. One for the 5.
I
One
blame
for the
you
damn
guys.
Tombstone.
I was kind of sitting at a 6, and then after we had the full discussion here, I realized it's a 5.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Yes. We'll see you next week. Before get out of here one more time, thanks to our members, our final girls and guys. What?
Nothing.
What's wrong with you?
I told you, my brain's trying to exodus out of my ear hole or my eyeball hole, man. I don't know what's happening here.
Thanks to our final girls and guys, Christy, C-Phase, Lorena, BD, Alex, and Robert, our Crazy Ralph's Bell's Fancy Creations, who we'll see in New Mexico in a couple of weeks. Dr. Smiley, who we hope we don't see in New Mexico in a couple of weeks. Raymond and the whole damn enchilada pod. And, of course, Adam, Corey, Christy, Luke, Jimmy and Rachel, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Chuck Schick, Patricia, Kristen, and JJ. I think that was the wrong one, but whatever.
Oh, somebody's it's a celebration, bitches.
Become a member and support the DCS at deathcurssociety.com. We appreciate you. And, of course, thanks to our associate producer, Phase. And, tune in next week for Jeff and Bethany from Morgan Crypt Horror Fest. And that's going to be it for the Colonel. for FaZe, for the Zigzag. This is Redcranke saying DCS out. Thanks for watching, and a big woo to you.
Rock and roll!
Just in the middle of a dream, I was kissing Valentino by a crystal blue Italian stream. But I can't be late, 'cause then I guess I just won't get paid. These are the days when you wish your bed was already made. It's just another manic Monday. It was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. I don't have to run day. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. It's just another manic Monday.
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole.
Fuck you!
Asshole!